Oh, look who showed up late. Sean Casey. Unbelievable. Crazy. How did you're slow at everything.
Hey.
You're late. What?
Thanks for having me on at 9:20. That's a great idea.
Well.
How you doing, Bobby? Good to see you guys.
Sean Casey coming over here.
What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah.
I'll go on Dan's show at 9:20.
Just sit down. Just sit
That worked out
down.
great for me.
Save all the handshakes and all that stuff. MLB Network will exclusively air tonight's Game 1 featuring Braves-Dodgers, and then Sunday's Game 3, Brewers and the Rockies. And you can see Sean on MLB Network's MLB Tonight throughout the postseason.
No, seriously.
What happened?
Are you kidding me? I was at the Lincoln Tunnel. Then the driver said, "No, we got to go to the Holland Tunnel." Went to the Holland Tunnel. Turns out the same amount of traffic, but I almost watched a whole episode of The Mayans while I was in the car, so I got that going for me, which is awesome.
Did you ever show up late for a game? Did you ever show late for a game?
I never showed up late for a game. Never. I was so scared.
But what about me? I mean,
I guess you're not Jim Leland.
This is game day.
You're not Jim Leland, Terry Francona.
This is game day.
This is crazy. You have to admit. It was like
why is it crazy?
It was an hour and 40 minutes in the car.
I know.
I'm 3 miles away, Dan. I'm over in Jersey. I'm 3 miles away.
Well, why didn't you run?
I would have got here in 2 hours.
What is late getting to a game in the baseball world?
Oh, I tell you what. Late is if you're after the bus, right? You know, the bus is like 4 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game. If you're after the bus, if you have to take a cab to the game, you're late. I've seen a few guys come in like, hey, you can't be after the bus. What are you doing?
Well, why were they late?
I have no idea. Because they maybe had a couple too many,
The night before?
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, on the way?
No, not on the way. Probably the night before.
Oh, okay. All right. So the full intro here is Sean Casey. He's the mayor. He's Major League Baseball Network analyst.
Great to see you guys,
one of our favorites. No, it's good to have you here. Good to have you here. Got any predictions, surprises?
Wow. Any surprises?
Are you surprised the Yankees are a slight favorite over the Red Sox?
Wow. After watching what they have, you forget how good that bullpen is.
Yeah.
No, not. Would
you take the Yankees over the Red Sox? Even though Boston's got home field advantage.
It's going to be an unbelievable series.
But it's only 5 games.
I know. That if you're the Red Sox, I think the advantage might go to the Yankees just because of that bullpen in a 5-game series.
What do you think of the one game format for the Wild?
I love it.
Yeah,
just because it brings so many cities and so many teams are still involved at the end.
Yeah,
and I think it's great for baseball. It does. Listen, I was involved. You remember that '99 when I was with the Reds, we had that 1-game playoff against the Mets. We won 96 games, and here we are in a 1-game playoff, and we end up losing to the Mets. And it really stinks because you go that whole season long to get those wins. But I think this second wild card at least gives everyone a couple more teams a chance.
So you think the Yankees bullpen, that'll be the difference in this series with Boston? Because Boston's got starting pitching.
Yeah, Boston's got the starting pitching. But I really believe that, we've seen it in the last few years here that the best bullpens are the ones that end up really, winning the whole thing. And, I don't know if there's a better bullpen right now than the Yankees. All
right, we'll take a break. Sean will join us coming up top of next hour. Actually, that's it. We're done with it.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what? That traffic jam was so worth it, guys. So good seeing you guys.
Yeah,
I'm going to go get a bagel with some veggie cream cheese.
You were unbelievable. So Sean Casey, unfortunately, will stick around next hour. So the official introduction. Sean Casey, how many career hits did you have?
I think
15. Stop.
1,541? 1,551.
1551?
Yeah. Is that right?
I don't know. I
thought you were going to give me a great introduction or something. With my hits.
Yes, Paulie.
1,531 hits.
Oh, you just added 20.
302
why
here.
not at this point? Why not? I should have said 2,000.
What was his career average, Paulie?
302, Dan.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Yeah.
My last year in Boston was my first year off the bench. Like, all right, come off the bench. And I'm thinking to myself, do I want to do this?
You
do
had
I want to
322.
risk? I was at 301, though. What if you come off the bench, I throw a 237 out there. Now I'm a 299. Now I'm a 299 career hitter. Like, hey, decent career, 299. I'm like, no. I came off the bench in Boston at 237, and now I'm 299. Like, I really am a 300 career hitter.
Would you have kept playing? Can you imagine ending
I mean, it would have been
299?
I'd be depressed right now.
Because didn't Mickey Mantle end up at 298
Yeah,
career batting average?
it bothered him big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think once you get there.
You're like, you can't be 290. You're Mickey Mantle. You're three plus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yes, McLovin.
Well, more importantly, he's 370 on base percentage, Sean, which is very
Okay,
impressive.
here we go.
See?
Okay, I don't like sabermetrics. I don't like the analytics. I
Right,
don't
right.
like WAR. I need to know the most important offensive stat, in your opinion, is what?
wow. You know what? I because I'm in the world of all that now at MLB Network and stuff, and I see it all. Like, I think OPS is the stat that everyone looks at now, that you're, on base plus slugging percentage, that you're driving balls, your slugging's up and you're getting on base. For me, which the sabermetric guys don't love, I still look at RBIs and I say, if you're driving, you either drive them in or you're not. And I know people will say that's a team stat and you got to get on base. But I've been in the box before when there's guys on base, and I've played with plenty of guys that have opportunities to drive and run that just don't do it. So I don't know. I look like a guy like Miguel Cabrera, back when he won the MVP, and everyone's like, Mike Trout should have won it. Obviously, Trout's numbers were unbelievable, but Miguel Cabrera found a way to drive in 120 every year.
I thought runs scored.
Yeah, run whatever it is, run scored or RBIs, anything that has to do with you scoring runs those are the big stats for me.
If I said from 1970 on, you can start your team with this hitter.
Wow. My God.
But you got to factor in the steroids too, that they could get suspended for steroids. So if it's somebody who's, anybody
Okay.
who is under suspicion, you're taking that risk with them. But you can take any hitter from 1970 on.
Wow.
And you start your team.
And I would say if those are the parameters, I would say the best player I ever played against was Barry Bonds.
But you do run the risk.
Well, I know. Well, he never got
He
busted.
didn't get
right?
suspended.
I know. So I mean, he never.
Yeah.
So he was the greatest player I've ever seen. He was.
But do you think this is true with Barry Bonds? And I'd heard this firsthand, whether it's true or not. Barry got upset that McGuire and Sosa were getting all this publicity.
Right.
And Barry said, I am the bleeping best player in baseball because I do everything. I'm a five-tool guy.
Yeah.
These guys are cheating, and they're the stars.
Right.
They're sportsman of the year. And Barry hit 34 home runs that year.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
there was no suspicion. He looked like he was a whippet, and then he went to 49.
Right.
Then all of a sudden then he went to 73. so I think Bonds is his eye
hand coordination
is unparalleled.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I watched him in those Pittsburgh years, with Leland and those guys, and Bonds and Bonilla and Vance Lyke, and he was the best player in the game then when he was just, But then I played against him, obviously when he was with the Giants, and whatever was going on, he went to another level of awesomeness.
But he walked 232 times at age 39. Like
I know.
Like that's a career for people.
Well, I remember in 2004, I think we were 1-2 in the batting race, and it was late. It was late in the year. I think maybe you guys can look that up. But I remember playing them in San Fran in like September, and he would be like 1 for 1 with 3 walks. 0 for 1 with 3 walks. And I'm like, there's no way to catch this guy's at 370, walks 3 times a game, maybe 4 sometimes.
And you finished second in the batting race?
And I ended up finishing like 5th, I think, 4th or 5th, yeah.
So you really struggled down
I started struggling down the stretch. Yeah, I was like, I remember trying to get I was at 99 ribbies with 11 games to go, and I'm like trying to go deep, and next thing you know, my ears started going in the tank. Stayed at 99 ribbies.
You ended the season
Yeah,
at 99?
I got 99 ribbies twice. Stay hot. The one time in that 99, in 99, we're facing Al Leiter in that 1-game playoff, and I'm like, we're going to lose because I think it was 6-0. Pokey Reese leads off the 9th with a triple or something. I'm like, well, at least I'm going to get my 100th ribby because I just got to put the ball in play. I got to lay a bunt down or ground out to second, and Al punched me out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I can't put the ball in play against Al Leiter. Are you kidding me?
How did Al Leiter strike you out?
He was throwing just cutters, fuels. I think that one he threw me a sinker. I don't even think he had a sinker, but he threw me a sinker and struck me out. And then I threw a tantrum and broke my bat on the ground and walked off. And just what a terrible.
Are you the
ending.
career leader? Are you the career leader for 99 RBI seasons?
I don't know. I got 2 of them. That's all I know.
All right, let's look at these playoffs here. MLB Network carries Game 1, Braves-Dodgers, 8:30 Eastern. A couple of things here. I've mentioned this a couple times on the show, and the reason being it's a big statement by Oral Hershiser. He says Clayton Kershaw, greatest pitcher of all time.
Wow. Really? He's definitely in the conversation, no doubt about it. I mean, what he's done.
Well, okay.
But I wouldn't say greatest pitcher of all time.
How many pitchers are in the conversation?
There's a decent amount of pitchers.
Yeah,
in the
there's a lot.
There's a lot of pitchers
there's
in the
a lot
conversation. I think Oral's just trying to get some brownie points in that comment, but Clayton is one of the greatest ever. There's no doubt about it. But the argument, it's like saying somebody is the greatest hitter, or the greatest NBA player, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. There's too many guys for the conversation, I think.
Yeah, I don't see him as the greatest. I think statistically we're looking at some amazing things that he's done.
Right.
But I think when you're including greatest pitcher, that tag, that honor, I got to see postseason numbers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And not that, we've had guys who aren't great in the postseason.
Right.
Like, was there ever, did you ever face that guy and you go, oh my God, he's unbelievable during the regular season, and then the postseason, he becomes a little bit more mortal? Maddox didn't have great numbers. Glavine.
Yeah. It just popped into my head. I don't know, but I think of Roy Halladay, who was the best in the regular season, and then he goes to the postseason and he's throwing no hitters and doing his thing. I mean,
Schilling
was next level during the postseason time. Yeah, those guys. It is funny when you do see a guy that dominates during the year, and then like Pedro dominant during the year, dominant during the postseason. Maybe a little.
I think he's underrated.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Pedro.
I think Pedro Martinez.
Go back and look at Pedro Martinez and look at his stuff.
And he was doing it in the steroid era. In the American League East.
I'll never forget that '99 All-Star game when I was sitting on the bench, deathly afraid to even get in the game, and I was just like, I'm so glad I'm here to watch Pedro Martinez come out and just mowing down guys. They're coming back to the dugout, and I remember them saying that's unhittable, and it was like McGuire and Larry Walker and Larkin and Bagwell. He was just mowing down the best players in the game at the time.
Also, here's something that was brought to my attention, that Kershaw not starting Game 1 because he's no longer the ace of the Dodgers staff.
You know what? I don't know about that.
Buehler?
I think it might be the changing of the guard stuff-wise, because I think Buehler's stuff is, it's 99, it's 98 mile-an-hour sinker. It's next level stuff. It's number one ace stuff. It might be the changing of the guard there, but Clayton Kershaw is still Clayton Kershaw. And I'm not too sure that they didn't plan on him pitching Game 2. Ryu has obviously been pitching well, but if you got Kershaw too, if you got to go 5, you got him at 5 too. So what's the big deal?
Ryu has been unbelievable.
Ryu's been unbelievable
in the last month. Yeah,
they've been waiting for him to get healthy and do that.
All right, is it Dodgers going to the World Series? Brewers going to the World Series?
Wow, I think you know what? I really like the Brewers a lot. I don't. Their starters are a little iffy. But, they have guys that can do it. But that bullpen, for me, and there's something about a vibe in Milwaukee. I think you're going to see Milwaukee make the World Series this year.
And they're going to face?
And they're going to end up facing the Astros, I think.
There's your police escort to get you back home.
Thanks a lot.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't know you needed one.
They said Sean Casey. They were 2 hours late for the escort. The police escort never made it.
We had Rick Sutcliffe on yesterday, and Sutcliffe says he carries autographed baseballs with him in case he gets pulled over.
Does he?
But he says, but he says he doesn't have his autograph because nobody knows who he is. So he'll have Chris Bryant of the Cubs. He'll have Rizzo, Eddie Vedder, and Bill Murray, and he'll.
That's great. That's a veteran move. That's a veteran move by Sut.
You don't. You
know what's funny? I don't know why I'm with you guys, but stories pop into my head. I got pulled over one time and in Cincinnati. And it was remember those Celebra Ducks? I had a Celebra Duck. Remember the Duckies? They'd be like Sean Casey's Celebra Duck night. And after the game, they're like, "Hey, Case, here you go. Here's a box of Celebra Ducks."
Is this like a bobblehead?
No, it's like bobblehead, but it's literally a rubber ducky.
Okay.
And it's like number 21 on it with my face with a red uniform. They're still in my daughter's age. She takes baths. Like, here's the rubber duck, my Celebra Duck's like, "Hey, look at that. He's a Celebra Duck," So this one time I get pulled over in Cincinnati going to the game. Might be going a little too fast. The guy pulls me over. He's like, "Hey, you doing? Oh, hey, Sean Case. Oh, officer, I'm so sorry for speeding." He's like, okay. He's like, you got to slow down. I'm like, all right. He's gonna let me off. He's like, hang on a second. Let me sign a couple celebrity ducks for you because I had him in the car. They gave them to me like the night before. So instead of like Eddie Vedder, Bill Murray, and all these guys, you can get a Sean. If you pull me over, you get a Sean Casey signed celebrity duck.
And it worked.
It worked. It worked
but
great.
you didn't even have to give it to him because you were already getting off with the ticket. I would have given you the ticket for giving me a celebrity duck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as I gave him the celebrity duck, he started rethinking that and giving me the ticket. So, yeah, you're right. I gave him one for his 2 kids.
Do you feel like these pitchers now that they know that Tommy John surgery is part of the process now? That like it feels like if
It
you
almost
don't,
feels like it, doesn't it?
yeah, that
You're going to have it.
Yeah, if you haven't, you're going to get it.
If you throw hard, you're going to definitely get it. Like, no doubt about it. I look at Ohtani. I was talking to somebody the other day, with Tommy John. It's amazing. I think guys come back better from Tommy John because you have a year to come back and you are doing all these shoulder exercises to get your shoulder stronger. And, while your UCL heals. But, yeah, I think nowadays – if you're pitching in the big leagues, at some point, I think you're going to have it.
But isn't there a limit of what you can do with the shoulder? Like, you can only throw so hard.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that. How fast is that?
Yeah, and there's only so many bullets in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's only so many bullets.
Is 105 the fastest a man can throw a baseball?
I mean, who'd have thought all these guys would be throwing 100 right now, Dan? You know what I mean? So.
But where is that power from? Because I watched Sale.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And
he's like tall, skinny.
He weighs
lanky.
like 150.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Is it torque?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was lower body. It used to be lower body.
Yeah, you would say it's core, it's legs, it's, and I think there's something about that bow and arrow effect guys get when they hit or when they pitch that, I think Sale's more of a lengthy stretch guy where he gets that, he gets that bow and arrow effect better than other guys get, and I probably can sling it better.
Did you ever feel scared at the plate with a pitcher? Like, did you ever go up there and you just go, I don't want to be here?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah. You know what? Though I've told the story about facing Randy Johnson. I was always scared. That was scary when I was first in the big leagues. It was scary to face him. And the one time when I was with the Reds, my rookie year, I was struggling at the time. Scott Rowland had gone deep twice. And Scott Sullivan ends up hitting him, right? So here I come. I'm leading off the 8th, and I'm a rookie, and I'm thinking someone's going to wear it here. I look out there, and there's Al Leiter's brother, Mark.
He could throw.
He was throwing like 96, 97 miles an hour, and he looks a lot crazier than Al. And I asked Al, is Mark crazy? He goes, yeah, thank God you didn't charge him out because he is crazy. So I'm like, I'm going to wear it right here. First pitch, just now, boom, 98 right in my ribs. It hurts so bad. I was like, you remember your dad telling you not to rub it. It's like, don't rub it like you're in the big leagues. Like, and don't look at Mark Leiter because he might charge you. So I ended up running down the first. That was the first time I was like, I was scared.
But why do you get hit? You didn't do anything.
I know, but we hit Scott Rowland. He had went deep twice. Scott Sullivan hit him, so they decided to hit me. So I was like legitimately like, I'm about to wear this.
But
and I was a little scared.
Sean, it drives me crazy that in roll baseball, Scott Rowland did what you're supposed to do.
Right.
He homered twice.
Right.
And why is that a bad thing? Why all of a sudden do you go, damn it, somebody's gonna
wear one? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about make a better pitch? How about quit slopping it up there and like having guys hammer you? How
Okay,
about
but what if you
nice
strike out?
or something?
What if you strike out 6 guys in a row? Do then I go out and
I charge the mound
and pound you?
Right, you're too nasty. You're too nasty, Randy Johnson. Here I come.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I don't understand that.
I know it is. The logic doesn't make sense. You're exactly right.
You guys got a crazy. Are we allowed to celebrate in baseball, bat flips and all that? Are we?
It seems like nowadays you're allowed to.
Okay.
Doesn't it seem like it's changing a little bit as far as that goes?
I don't know why we don't just let baseball be entertaining. And you know what?
I
Have
agree.
fun.
Like when Batista bat flipped, that was fun. That was a fun.
It was a big moment.
It was a big moment. It was fun. I remember homering. I had some buddies in town. I remember homering in Houston, and did I ever tell that story? And my buddies would come in town and be like, okay. Are you the MVP of the trip or the LVP of the trip, right? So I'm like, if I go deep today, I'm going to be the MVP of the trip. So I homer in Houston.
And what's the other one?
My buddy, the LVP, least valuable player.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I homer against Jose Lima, like second deck in Houston. I'm like, yes, that's going to make me the MVP of my buddy's trip, which is ridiculous that we're even talking like this. But my buddies are in the crowd, right? My college friends. There'd be like you guys there. I'm rounding third base, and I point up to him like, "That's right, fellas, MVP of the trip, MVP of the trip." And I like, the guys are like, "Yeah, right." So I get to first base the next inning, and Bagwell walks, and he comes to first base. No. Bagwell doesn't walk. I'm running to first, and he's top step in the dugout yelling at me, "Case." And he kind of took me under his wing when I first got the big Case. If you ever point up to the crowd and rounding third base again, I'm going to come out there and kick your butt myself. And I'm just like, oh my God. He doesn't care that I'm the MVP of my French trip.
You can't explain it to him.
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
Bags, I'm the MVP.
My college friends are here. We're having a great 3 days, and I just homered against Jose Lima. I said I was going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to kill you. Oh my God. So, like, that's the old school rules, right? You don't point at anybody. You don't do that stuff, but now you can.
Dude, you're the best. You are. You're worth the wait. Sean Casey, exclusively tonight, Game 1, Braves-Dodgers on MLB Network at 8:30 Eastern. Sunday, Game 3, Brewers-Rockies. And, of course, you can watch Sean and company, the grumpy Billy Ripken, on MLB Network's MLB Tonight throughout the postseason. Great to have you stop by, buddy.
DP, thanks a lot, man. Fellas,
great.
thanks for having me.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.